Your job hunt in Ontario is about to completely change forever because the government is finally banning the most toxic part of applying for work. There is a massive list of new laws and regulations dropping on January 1st, 2026. And whether you are a tenant, a homeowner, or just someone trying to find a decent job, this is going to impact your daily life. Let's start with the absolute biggest game changer, which is the new pay transparency laws. We all know the struggle of scrolling through job postings, seeing a description that fits you perfectly, and then seeing the words competitive salary instead of an actual number. That is officially over. Starting in January, if an employer has 25 or more workers, they are legally required to include the expected compensation or salary range right there in the public job posting. They can't play games with this either. The pay range they list cannot be broader than $50,000. That means they can't say the job pays between $40,000 and $100,000 just to get you in the door. They have to be specific. There is a small catch though. If the top end of the salary is over $200,000 a year, they are exempt from this rule. But for the vast majority of jobs, you are going to know exactly what the money looks like before you even hit apply. They also have to disclose all forms of pay, so if there are bonuses or commissions on top of the base salary, that needs to be listed too. It gets better for job seekers. You know how you spend hours prepping for an interview? You go in, you think it went well, and then you never hear from them again? That is called candidate ghosting, and Ontario is trying to make it illegal. Under these new rules, employers have to follow up with every single applicant they interview. They can't just leave you hanging. They are required to notify you, either in writing or in person, about the outcome within 45 days of your final interview. They even have to keep a record of that communication for 3 years. So if you get ghosted after an interview, that company is actually breaking the law. Also, if a company is using artificial intelligence to screen your resume or analyze your application, they have to disclose that in the job posting. You have a right to know if a robot is deciding your future. Now let's switch gears to housing and safety because the fire code is getting a major update. If you are a renter or a homeowner, you need to pay attention to this. The province is introducing strict carbon monoxide safety rules. Basically, carbon monoxide alarms are going to be required in way more places. If you have a fuel-burning appliance, a fireplace, or an attached garage, you need an alarm. But it's not just one alarm anymore. You need them adjacent to every sleeping area and on every single story of the home, even the floors that don't have bedroom. For tenants, this is huge because your landlord is responsible for installing and maintaining these alarms. They have to test them annually and give you the maintenance instructions. If you live in a condo or apartment, these rules apply if your building has a service room or garage near your unit. It is a massive step up for safety, so make sure your landlord is actually doing this come January. If you are a professional looking to move to Ontario, things are getting easier for you too. The government is rolling out these as-of-right rules. This is designed to help with the labor shortage. Basically, if you are a qualified engineer, doctor, architect, or electrician from another part of Canada, you can start working in Ontario way faster. You won't have to wait months for certification. You can start practicing your profession for up to 6 months while you finish registering with the Ontario regulatory body. The goal is to get people working within 10 business days of a regulator confirming their credentials. For those of you living in Toronto specifically, your blue bin situation is changing. The City of Toronto is stopping its management of recycling for houses and condos. Instead, a national non-profit organization called Circular Materials is taking over. This is part of a shift to make the companies that produce the packaging actually pay for the recycling process. You probably won't notice a huge difference at the curb, but the back end of who handles your trash is shifting to the producers. However, living in the city is getting a bit more expensive. Toronto City Council approved a 3.75% increase to water and solid waste fees. If you are an average household using a normal amount of water, expect your annual bill to go up by about $40. Garbage bin fees are also climbing, so depending on the size of the bin you have, you are going to be paying anywhere from $11 to $22 more per year. Finally, there is a new federal act kicking in called the Free Trade and Labor Mobility in Canada Act. It sounds boring, but it actually makes buying things easier. It ensures that goods produced in one province are recognized in others without extra red tape. So, a washing machine that meets standards in Quebec will automatically meet standards in Ontario. It cuts down the paperwork and supposedly lowers costs for businesses, which hopefully trickles down to us. 2026 is bringing a mix of more rights for workers, stricter safety for tenants, and a few extra costs for everyone. So get ready for a very different landscape in the new year.